We are now going to subtract integers. Again, we will use the examples with a number line to understand the process first, and then we will form shortcuts from patterns. So let's begin. First one is positive 3 minus a positive 2. So as we explained in the addition process, the sign of the integer tells you the direction in which you have to jump, and the absolute value tells you the number of jumps you have. All right, so let's begin. First one, positive 3. I am going to be right here on positive 3. Now I have to subtract a positive 2 from here. If I were doing it the simple addition way, I would have jumped 2 jumps in the positive direction. But since I am subtracting, so I'm going to do exactly the opposite. That means I'm going to do 2 jumps in the opposite, that is the negative direction. So make 2 jumps towards the negative side. This is subtracting a positive 2. Where do I land? I have landed at positive 1. All right. Now let's look at example number 2. So here in the second example, what we're doing is we're starting at minus 5. We are right here. Now we're supposed to jump in the opposite direction of minus 1. Keep in mind, subtraction means do the opposite of what the number sign is telling you. So we're going to jump the opposite direction of minus 1. That means we are going to jump 1 jump towards the positive side. Where did we land? We land at negative 4. Now, third example. This time we are at positive 4 and we are supposed to jump the opposite direction of minus 1. So we are right here at positive 4, and the opposite direction of minus 1 would be 1 jump towards the positive side. So this is your opposite direction of minus 1, which means you landed at positive 5. Last example. Now in this last one, you can see that you are at negative 2. So let's start right here from negative 2. And then you are supposed to jump the opposite direction of a positive 3. So positive 3 would have taken you towards the right side, but you're going to go the opposite direction. So go towards the left side. 1, 2, 3. 3 jumps to the negative side now. So this means you have landed at minus 5. Now that we have solved our questions, let's derive some shortcuts from the patterns we can see. The easiest way to remember subtraction is that it is the opposite of addition. The easiest shortcut to remember is that the subtraction sign changes the sign of the coming integer, and then you do simple addition. Let's write that down. Subtraction sign changes the sign of the second integer, and then we follow simple addition rules. That's the shortcut. Now, how does that work? Let's look at it. Let's look at the first example. In first example, we are doing positive 3 subtract positive 2, and we get a positive 1. So let's see. According to this rule, positive 3 subtract a positive 2, the subtraction sign will change this integer and it will become positive 3 minus 2, and these are simply being added together. So follow your simple addition steps. You are at positive 3 and you are going to add a negative 2. That means jump 2 steps towards the negative side and you have landed at positive 1. Let's look at the second example. Second example says minus 5 minus a minus 1. Now this subtraction sign is going to change this minus and it's going to become a minus sign. Minus 5 plus a positive 1. So where are we? We are on minus 5 and we're going to jump a positive 1 this way and we land at -4. -4. All right, let's look at the third example. +4 minus a -1. What is happening here? The subtraction sign is going to change this minus into a positive. So we have a +4 and we're adding a +1 to it. So let's look at it. We are at +4 and we add a +1 to it. So we land at +5. Last example, -2 minus a +3. This subtraction sign is going to change this +3 and it becomes -2. Add a -3 to it. So you are at -2 right here and you're adding a -3. So you go in the negative direction, 1, 2, 3, and you land at, we added a -3 and you land at a -5. So simple step, the subtraction sign changes the sign of the second integer and then we follow simple addition rules. I hope that helps. Thank you.